Guys, I'm Wayne Hughes. You're listening to the Friday Frothy. What a fantastic show.
Oh, g'day, Glenn. Welcome to the Friday Frothy.
We're back, mate. A little bit of a layoff again in between drinks.
Well, how you been, mate? Let's just get serious here. And hey, you got your beanie on. It's cold outside,
mate. It's a little bit chilly. It's Antarctic blast. I think again down here in Hobart.
Yes.
But yeah, look, we'll toughen up, I suppose, as the show goes along, mate. I'll disperse that.
Turn it up, Tiger. Jeez. Oh, hello. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, so what about yourself, mate? I mean, I've been extremely busy down here. We have all us Tasmanians are very busy.
Tasmanians are busy people.
We are busy people. And
mate, I just wanted to comment on, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I did a little snippet.
Snippet.
You like the word
snippet.
snippet. And I put it on Facebook about all the mistakes you made last time we were on. Did you happen to have a look at that? The MSD and all that sort of stuff? And
what did you call it?
Anyway,
that's a good one.
It was funny, actually.
I
quite enjoyed it. It was quite funny.
I believe I said that. I think Neil actually rang me the next
day.
day.
Did he really?
Yeah,
what did he say?
Well, he didn't say a lot.
He wouldn't have been real happy with you, wouldn't he?
No, I didn't mean to say that. But anyway, well, look, we do get, I mean, we probably had a couple. But
we had a couple, yes.
We had. Yeah, so yourself, mate, what's been going on?
All good. I've been good. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here in the Frothy.
Yep.
If you don't know, you haven't seen our show before, and you should, because we're on, well, every fortnight now, aren't we? So it's a bit confusing for people.
It is confusing, but we can only do what we can do at the moment under circumstances. There's great people in Victoria coming out of...
maybe out. Sydney going in.
Are out, and one out, one in. It's a little bit like us, mate. We, as I said, we're every week, and as you pointed out, we're every 2 weeks now. Sometimes it could be 3 weeks, but...
Have you seen that?
It is the great Todd Hazelwood.
Oh.
But you bought that hat.
I've drawn the hat, yeah, and the stubby cool. It's already somewhere, but I was supporting Toddy Hazelwood for supporting us, and hopefully he's going to be on the show
very soon.
We've got Darwin this week, so hopefully we'll be talking to him soon, mate.
It'll be a hell of a lot warmer up in Darwin than what we are down here.
Mama.
Look, it's not too bad, I suppose. It's just a little bit cool in the Frothy bar tonight, but it'll warm up.
It will.
Like we will.
A couple more beers, mate.
Anyway, we hope everyone's well out there and... as well as can be, and we what we do is all sports.
We're here to talk sports, aren't we?
We're here to. There's not a hell of a lot to talk about as far as world sports go, because unfortunately, as I said again with the COVID, we're limited.
Maybe a cock or two.
A little bit. There's my little mate up there, a little mascot. Yeah.
Glennie, I don't know. We've mentioned it last week or last fortnight. We had Natalie Arnold on the show, and she was talking about Flying July and all the things that happened with it, and all the new charities that you can sponsor by doing it. Get on board, guys. We'll have a link below where you can actually go on to flytojuly.org. Is that right, kids? And you register a team if you want to register with us. I think we've still got a couple of spots in our team for the Friday Frothy. Yeah. So if you want to come in,
come along with the train,
the strength,
the power, whatever you want to call us. But at the moment we're ready to walk. It's nice and cool down here, and we're ready to go.
What's your goal for the day?
Well, last year I wanted to lose 10 kilos last year, and I did it. And I think I've put an extra 15 on after.
You did lose a lot. You lost a lot. You did.
I'm going to go easy this year. I'm going to go 6. If I can lose 6 kilos in the month of July.
I don't like to make too many bold statements, but I am going to put the miles in.
I'm not doing a million steps. Ray is going to beat me. That's the way it is.
Look, I don't think. I heard what Razor's going to do, and
that's just crazy talk.
I won't be.
You've gone cray, Razor.
I wouldn't even have the time to put in to beat that. And this might be a little bit different. It's a little bit like Paul Gallen and the young Justice Cuny.
Let's have a talk about him. Now, young Justice is going to the Olympics, yeah?
He is.
And he's fought Paulie Gallen, your good mate, from the Sharks.
Was he the Sharks? He's retired Sharks man. And What is now? 39? What is he?
Glennie broke his ribs in round 2 and he went on to fight.
He's got a lot of guts. See, he is tough. But he was always going to... Look, Jeff Fennick, everyone mentioned it, all the boxing people that know, not clowns like me, but boxing people that know, as they said, they didn't think that he'd last the distance. Well, look, he got to the last round with about 2 minutes to go. He got knocked down. He had his gloves up like that. They called it off. To me, he could have got the last 2 minutes in and said, "Well, look, I've been 10 rounds, possibly with, give Huni, what is he, 22, whatever he is. Give him another 4 or 5 years. He could be fighting for a world championship, Jeff. I don't know. He's good. So he's been fighting since he was 7.
Game move going into a fight against someone in Australia. Well, only a month out before the Olympic Games. So if he had broken his hand or a bad
Gallen. Well, funny you said that. Gallen said, I mean, with the trash talk, Gallen said, "I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to break. If I have to, I'll break your arm, so you don't get to the Olympics."
That's what you say to me before we start the show every time.
We do. I mean, we don't mean it much, but no, we do. We have a little bit of fun. And look, they did as soon as the fight was over. What I do like, and I know Gallen respects this guy 100%.
Yeah,
once all the trash talk with most boxers, once it's all out of the way, Jeff.
Yeah.
They shake hands. They've got mutual respect, and you move on, don't you?
Exactly right.
That's what we do.
But good on you, Gallen.
I thought it was
you
good.
showed me something in the fight. So.
Well, listen, he's no mug, because you know why? With the purse, so what Gallen is very good at, he's your pay-per-view. He's the one that organised, mind you, he got most of the money.
1.5 mil.
And Huni only got about 320,000.
Is that right?
Yep.
How does that work?
Because he has never fought in amongst that many people, and with his background, Gallen's he'll end up a promoter. I reckon.
Would you?
He's got that, because he can do that. He's a little bit like Conor McGregor. I mean, if you go big time, I mean, not at the same scale, but Conor McGregor, even though you don't see him anymore, do you? He's not in UFC. Not that I love UFC fighting, but he's the best promoter of that sport.
Would you fight Paul Gallen or Mayweather? Yeah. Would you fight Paul Gallen or one of these guys for 1.5 million?
I wouldn't fight his left toe.
Not for 1.5 million.
Well, it'd be I would.
It'd be over very quickly.
Well, it'd be over before I got through the race.
You'd be ducking and ducking.
I mean, 1.5.
You would be doing a bloody rug, mate. Wool weaving. You'd be doing.
If you punched me in the arm, I'd go down. I'd be like one of those soccer players. I'd do a nail and go down.
Talking about soccer players, let's go straight into this, guys. If you don't know the show, we have a segment called Out with the Gleno, and it's anything that gets on our goat. And I've got something on my goat right now. Al, give me the chuckle on there. Out with it.
Out with it.
That was quick, wasn't it? That was quick. Now,
was that out with it?
That was it.
Oh.
You're talking.
Is that it?
No,
out with it.
You're talking soccer a second ago, and I cannot believe this has happened during the week. And you would have seen that Cristiano Ronaldo, right? One of the greatest soccer players going around, right? Yes. He's taken 2 Coke bottles that are in front of him for an interview. Like I'm about to take this Bogues St George, right?
Yes.
I hope Bogues don't crumble for me doing this, but. He's taken his Bogues St George and he's put it over and said, "Drink water. Don't drink Bogues St George." Right?
Shame of it.
What I'm saying, right? They reckon that the stocks in Coca-Cola crashed. They lost $5.2 billion.
Wow.
Because he said
he said that.
Wow.
It's serious. Do people?
Do they sponsor him?
The whole tournament is sponsored by Coca-Cola, and another guy actually did it because they're also sponsored by Heineken. And there was another soccer player who took the Heineken away and said, "I'm religious, I don't drink," which is pretty much like our show.
Yeah, well, that's right. I don't. This is.
He could be sued for that.
It actually looks like VB, but in actual fact, it's the Latrobe Demons.
Oh, hello.
It's a bit like GameStop.
I've got the Eastern Suns Rugby League.
The Eastern's.
They've come on the stock market with GameStop, same thing.
They've put a stop to it today, saying they're no longer allowed to do it. But I just cannot fathom that Coca-Cola lost $5.2 billion on their shares because of some soccer player saying, "Drink water instead."
That's how
That's
sponsorship.
That's what influencing is. You see all these Instagramming
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
This is the sort of influence they have.
But are we that silly that we just have
yeah.
to
Yeah, we
follow
are.
them? We're
We
just
are.
followers.
Well, we're
aren't we?
not. We're okay.
So if you're going to go and jump off the bridge tomorrow, Jeff,
Do you
I'm
wanna?
going to go and follow.
Do you want to?
You would if you were a millennial.
Do you want to?
Okay, I'm going to go and jump off the bridge.
How many somersaults do you reckon you could do off that bridge?
Well,
I reckon.
That's not even something to talk about.
Okay, we're not
No,
gonna,
no,
we
no.
won't talk about it. All right, so that's one part of Outward. The second part of Outward,
we're
guys,
only talking about the pier, actually.
They're talking about
Yeah.
the new platform.
if you follow our Facebook page, and you should, if you don't, you should, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I put up something the other day because I wanted to go to the North Melbourne versus Brisbane game, Glennie.
Right.
And I thought after the week before we had GWS playing, they only got 3,500
3,500.
people to the crowd. Disgusting. All right. Now, I've jumped online to see how much these tickets are. $99, $78, and $57 if you wanted to sit on the hill. Stand on the hill.
What?
Can you check what time was the game on? 4:30.
4:20 on Saturday.
Okay,
afternoon.
so here we are. Look,
Look at him.
beanies, hats.
He's come straight from the wharf.
It's actually it's balmy out there at the moment. It's probably about 12, is it, at the moment?
Oh.
We've had, I mean, if you're going to, at 4:20 on a Saturday night, it's nearly night, it's probably going to
Well,
be,
we'll be dark.
I think the weather, it's probably going to be about
Showers.
5-6 degree showers, and they're selling on the hill. Now, who would want to sit on the hill? How much is that? 30.
50. Well, it was 57, but you can now get it for $30 through North Melbourne.
Right, so you're going to sit out in the open
Yeah.
for that,
Yeah.
and our argument is, so
Is
this
it?
is the beef, isn't it?
Here it comes.
Right.
Right.
Tasmania. I don't know how this works, but we couldn't go. We're actually going to the other game. Jeff, being North Melbourne and Al Meister, they might go to the game. We're not sure, eh?
No.
They're not going.
It's too dear.
Right. Essendon, okay, so there you go. So they're not going because there's fair enough. It's 2D. We're going to go because Essendon never come to Tasmania.
Never.
And Leah, my wife, she hasn't seen Essendon for God knows how many years. And we was going to go over to Melbourne. Anyway, cut long story short, we couldn't get in.
Yeah.
It was sold out.
Yeah.
So we've actually we've had to pay full membership halfway through the year, and just to get in.
Sucker.
Yeah. I mean, I
Now,
yeah.
it's a good segue, and I'm going to go straight to that in a minute.
But it's worth. Yeah,
I just wanted to say, though, if Al and I go to the football this weekend and we want to sit in an uncovered seat because it's going to be wet,
It's going to be wet, yeah.
right? It's going to cost us $132 just
Yeah.
to get in, $66 each.
Yeah.
Am I right there? 132. That's correct, isn't it?
And we're looking at we're looking at $200,
That is insane.
and that we haven't even bought. I haven't even bought me 10 meat pies and me Savoys and
And your 20 beers.
no, haven't had them yet.
All right, now let's talk about this. How important now is the fact that Hawthorn and Essendon have sold out in look at a bullshit meter. Look at that.
bullshit meter.
They've sold out in an hour, right? So now we are sending a story now to the AFL to say, hey,
Yeah,
we're serious.
On
We're serious.
No,
We can fill the stadium. But I just want to ask you,
sorry.
if North Melbourne Brisbane, which is going to be pretty boring in my eyes because it's another interstate team, right? If Hobart only draws another 3,500 crowd,
We intro, yeah.
and Launceston, or Launceston as we call it, sells out, which it has.
Well, they call it a sellout. I'm a little bit unsure what capacity they're allowing.
I think it was 13-something thousand.
Yeah, is that right?
They're going to try and expand it. They're going to try and make it more.
Well, yeah, you
but what I'm
said that.
saying is, Glenn, is this going to be a detriment to Tasmania wanting a football team in Hobart, being the capital,
Okay.
where
Right.
Launceston
Well,
has,
I've
has
got my
sold out.
answer for it.
Go for
I've
it.
got my answer for this.
Go for it.
I'm sick to death.
Ooh!
So this is still part of this. This is a long
Oh,
show. this.
oh.
But I'm sick to death of them carrying on. Every show I watch lately, they've ridiculed Gold Coast.
Yep.
Not going anywhere.
Yep.
They went back 3 years, each 3 years in stages, and they went back about how many guys they got, which were top line recruits. I mean, top 1, 2, 3,
Yep.
which they've lost. They are now back in the situation again where it's back up now for guys to work. Are they going to stay on the Gold Coast? So we've got Lukosius, we've got some of these young guns who went 1, 2 and 3. I can't think of the other fellow. Young Aboriginal boy from South Australia, another gun. Are they going to stay on the Gold Coast at the end of this year, or they're not signing on long term? Are they going to go? Are they going to want to go back to their own states?
They're going to go.
Because if they go round again, Jeff, where is football going? This is, I think Matthew Lloyd brought this up, that every 3 to 4 years they get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 players, really good players. They don't hold them.
Oh.
GWS, on the other hand, they've held them, but they keep getting picks. They've been a little bit smarter, but they don't get crowds.
Will Tassie be the same?
They
no,
don't.
they don't.
Up there, they don't follow.
They'd be lucky to have 7,000 members, I think.
Well,
don't quote me on that.
No, and when they get a team, when they get their spectators there, I know they had a crackdown. With 3,500 is not good enough.
No.
But I'd say they'd be 8. And this is Western Sydney. That's bigger than Tasmania put together. So anyway,
so there you go. Well, we've got more AFL to talk about. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that shortly. But Ali, that was out with it.
Out with it!
And if you agree or disagree with that, guys, let us know. If you don't think Tasmania should have a team, let us know too, because that'd be interesting to see what you people on the mainland think. Do we deserve a team when you've only got 3,500 people turning up? Mind you, it is the middle of winter. It was a Sunday afternoon, and it was a long weekend, and it was cold.
Yeah, and by the way, the Hawthorn game, which is sold out, so we got people coming from the north of the south. From the south, travelling to the north, and the northwest travelling to the north to watch that game. Sunday, 3:40 or 3:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday when you got work the next day.
Crazy.
Not real smart AFL.
Nah.
We were like the Caroline Wilson.
I reckon that's what they're doing. They're lining us up to fail, before we
start.
Well,
I think they are. It's not real smart.
They keep giving us Sunday games. They give us teams that don't draw a crowd. They put us on times where they know it's not going to, it's going to be cold and it's going to be dark and I think they're just setting us up to fail. But anyway, here's what it is,
Good
mate.
point, Jeff.
Here's what it is,
Point.
mate. Let's talk a little bit of cricket. We were going to have our cricket consultant Philly Kingston on this evening again, but he's actually working, mate.
Tied up tonight.
Hello, Philly, if you're out there watching this later on, mate. But there was a report during the week, Glennie, that Tim Payne, the Australian cricket captain, has come to the defence of Justin Langer. A lot of hoo-ha going at the moment.
Yeah, what's going on with that, mate?
Well, they just reckon that the culture that Justin Langer has brought into the team and the way his efforts in training and all that sort of stuff have not been, really taken on real well. And Tim Payne has come out and said that, he's doing a great job. We support him 100%, and we can go down the track that he's wanting us to go. And he thinks that the rest of the team will get behind him.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I mean, to me, they haven't had the cattle.
Well, no.
I mean, you can't keep blaming the coach every 5
No,
seconds.
and there's more to it now. And just before we get on to this team, he's also said that he's put forward Marnus Labuschagne.
Yeah, old Lampshade.
Yeah, Lampshade, to take his position as captain once he steps down.
Who? Take Payne?
Yeah. Yeah, he thinks Marnus
He
will
thinks
make
he's
a good captain.
Payne said that.
He's a good man. He's got good enthusiasm, and he's there for the game. So he reckons and he's proved himself in his cricket, in his ability.
Payne's done everything right. Look, the thing is with him, he's done everything right. He can't do any more than that. I mean, all the cricket. This is the whole thing with all the sports. Again, I know we keep harping on about it, but it's not. There's not consistency at the moment. Even the IPL, that was all vanished, wasn't it, because of COVID? And it's unfortunately we're in a situation now where these guys are not getting continuity into their game and all the rest of it. So this is going to happen.
It's even got worse, Glennie, because you just talked about the IPL and everyone who had to come home, David Warner and Pat Cummins, and
the whole side.
There was a list of them, Jai Richardson, and all that sort of stuff. So basically what's happened now, because there's a white ball tournament coming up against the West Indies and Bangladesh. There's a stack. There's 7 players in Australia who've actually pulled out and said, I'm sorry, we don't want to go.
We're not going. Yeah. No, it's half a side. They ought to call it Arthur.
So I can tell you who the 7 players are, mate. It's Pat Cummins, David Warner, Glenn Maxwell, Jai Richardson, Kane Richardson, Daniel Sams and Marcus Stoinis. Okay. And they just said that they don't want to go because of the bubble. The bubble
Well, they don't. Yeah, well, they've obviously don't know the situation of all those boys, but
well, they got stuck there, didn't they?
Well, they did.
They couldn't get home.
They couldn't get home. Look, it's the thing is, they're thinking of their look. Well, let's be honest, they're thinking of their life at the moment, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know why a lot of this is going on until things are corrected. They may never be corrected in a hurry, but until people, and I suppose until everyone's had their jabs or whatever you call it, and that's going to take years.
The jabs.
Well, it is.
We will.
We'll have it.
It's funny you last week with the jab. Have you had it? No. And a good thing you didn't, because now you can get Pfizer now.
Well, that's right. I'm only a young fella. You see, I'm under the 60 bracket by a long way. And now I get the Pfizer.
Bit of wiggles,
So
actually.
that means 3 weeks before jabs, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Ah, well, yes.
Unbelievable.
Well, at least we get that at any rate.
Mate, let's talk a bit of tennis. The French Open, been and gone. Your mate, the Joker,
Yes,
claimed his 19th Grand Slam title, became the first man in 52 years to win 4 major titles twice. He came from 2 sets down to beat Stefano Tippis. Is that how you say his name? Titties? Stefanos
whatever you said.
Titties and a gripping in the French
Tedispus.
He won 6-8, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-4.
Tedispus.
I just typed in titties so I could cover.
Tedis.
You don't want to know what I'm saying.
Tedibus.
Djokovic is now 1 major away from equaling the all-time record of 20 titles, jointly held by Roger Federer and Rafael.
The Rafa.
Nadal.
Yeah,
Hey.
our wedgie smuggler. He likes our wedgie, doesn't he?
He's the first man since Rod Laver in 1969 to win all 4 slams on multiple occasions, and just the third in history.
He hasn't lost his passion, has he, Jay? You can see in him. He wants to be the man, doesn't he? He's still got a long way. I think last time I heard Roger might be. Getting towards the exit, mate.
Well, Nadal's pulled out of the Olympics and Wimbledon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think time's not so much for Nadal, but
I reckon it might be time you pull the racket back out, because these guys are all going.
yeah,
You might
I
have
think
a shot.
I might be in there with my
Might have a shot. Now listen,
my cut slice and all that.
and congratulations to the women of the French Open, who did a fantastic job. I'm going to let you read this one out, mate, if you don't mind.
Yes.
That one there. If you can just read
yeah.
congratulations to the women. This is the scores.
Okay, this should be. Now I'm going to apologise for this, but my English teacher, she had a hard time.
Yeah.
But Babora.
Who?
Babora.
I think it's Barbara, isn't it? Oh no, it's Barbara.
Babora.
Yep. Come on, hurry up.
Krejcikova.
Pardon? Oh, that's a good.
Krejcikova.
Krejcikova.
Yeah, exactly. I can't.
That's
Can't
good.
get the K out.
Come on.
Won the women's singles title at the 2021 French Open.
Well done, Barbara.
Defeating Anastasia
Who?
Pavlyuchenkova in the final 6-1, 2, oh,
What was it? What was the name?
2-6,
What's the name?
6-4.
Exactly. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova.
Pavlyuchenkova.
Sorry,
How's that?
we're not taking the Mickey out of your life. You know we are.
Pavlyuchenkova.
Get a proper name, will you?
Pavlyuchenkova. How's that?
Chinico.
Pavlyuchenkova.
Is that what it is?
Well, no, sounds good. No, Pavlyuchenkova. Anyway, 6-1, 2-6, 6-4. This was, geez, what's the name again? God help me.
What is it?
This was the young lasses.
Which young lass?
Krejcikova. Sounds like car crash, doesn't it? Car crash over. First Grand Slam title in singles, and her 6th Grand Slam tournament title overall. God, I've got to wipe my eyes.
Well done, mate.
Back to you. Thanks for that.
Back in the news desk.
Thanks to Mrs. Holmes too for giving me all those high credit marks and that when I was doing English. I never had to pronounce names like that.
Well, you know, when we were watching tennis growing up,
I did French. I did French.
We had Pam Shriver, we had Nat Radilova, we had who else did we have? You know,
also Flaville, mate.
Who? Steffi, Everett, Steffi Graf, Chris Everett Lloyd, they were all really easy. Hannah Manlakova, she was probably a hard one.
What about Nat
you can say
Pav Nat
If you say Nat Ratilova, it's not that hard. But But
some of those.
compared to today, I mean, crikey.
Yeah, we might have to do a little bit more homework on some of those lads.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'll put it this way: they know who they are,
Yeah, of course they do.
and they're watching. They're watching the show, so
We probably shouldn't be taking a crapper out of them.
so
No.
we'll
We're
just
not.
we're not. Barbara, we'll just call you Barbara. But
Yeah,
look, I mean, after you can put us straight and right in.
Yeah.
We might have to sit back when we hear what you've got to say. Take our Olympics, mate. What's
Oh, we'll take our Olympics. I was going to say Nadal's pulled out, and
Yeah.
it looks like Naomi Osaka, all right, who's from Tokyo.
yes, she's not too well.
Well,
we mentioned her.
she's
the
decided she's not going to play Wimbledon, but she's
No.
going to go and play the Olympics.
Oh, well, there you go. She's got a little bit of depression problem, hasn't she, at the moment? So
But she's picking and choosing.
she's
by
picking and
what's good.
choosing what she wants to do. Okay, there was beef for that. What about the V8 Supercars?
Well, I'll tell
Jeffrey?
you who's not picking and choosing. That's Chaz Moster, your
Chazzy.
favourite.
Chazzy.
He's decided, as you know, Glennie, Jamie Whincup is about to pull up.
He's about to pull stumps.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out the back door.
I don't know about you, but I've had a phone call during the week to see if I was interested in taking his ride.
Yeah.
I said no because I'm too busy at work.
No, we were going in the Honda scooter, wasn't we?
Yes, Chaz was probably the number one pick to take that spot in the
he
Red Bull,
won down
the
there.
Red Bull team. Yeah,
He won
yeah.
he won a round in
And
the
he said,
round.
he said
the
no,
touring cars.
I'm signing, and he's staying with Andretti, Walkinshaw Andretti. So,
Well, you did well.
good on you, Chaz. You've done well.
Andretti, yeah.
You know, well, I remember that without
You
even
did well.
looking at
You
it.
walk,
So,
yeah, well, yeah, but you can see it says Walk and Shore.
I'm
Are you
walking.
sure?
Sure.
Andretti?
But it's a multi-year deal, and we don't know how long for. But it's
Okay.
but yeah, he's definitely staying where
Well done.
where he was, and well done, mate.
That's the V8.
That's good news. A little bit more that last time I spoke to you, we were talking about Ingle coming back and racing at Bathurst.
Yeah,
with
no,
Brock
Russell,
Feeney.
yeah.
And now
Oh,
Greg
Russell.
Murphy, the Murphster, he's got a ride as well now.
He
so
is too.
yeah, Murphy
Well, they're
and
all
Richie
coming back.
Stanaway. So
Okay.
and this weekend, guys, at Hidden Valley, you can see young Toddy Hazelwood ripping it up there at Darwin this weekend. So good luck. Good luck,
Nice and
Todd.
warm up there. They won't need to heat the tyres up there, I don't reckon.
No.
Not there. When's the wet season up there? It's not now, is it? Later, is it?
No, it's summer, isn't it? Darwin.
Summer? More summer?
Wet season. Darwin.
No, Tim says it's now.
Now,
Oh, is it now, is
It's
it?
now. Okay, we'll get your wet weather gear on then, boys.
I would have thought would it be thunderstorms this summer.
Yeah, it's always hot up there.
Yeah. So enjoy. Good luck, Todd.
Well done. Yeah, well done, Toddy.
Matey, the NRL, I don't have too much to talk about it except for the embarrassing...
Well, we know. What was the score, Jeff? 46 zip. 46
No,
zip.
this is... I'm talking about the State of Origin.
That's what we just said.
Well, this is last night's game against the
oh, that's
Bunnies.
oh, God.
So this
that's
is
the
this,
Bunnies
This
going.
is the Brisbane against the Bunnies, 46-0.
Oh,
But
wow.
Brisbane got smacked, I think, 58. I can't remember, 58-0 in the State of Origin. Biggest loss.
Oh, I know, the State of Origin. Well,
What's going on?
this is just sort of, well, New South Wales are dominating at the moment. They're struggling up there, the Queenslanders, aren't they?
Yes.
At the moment, they've lost some big guns, and
Yeah,
you
mate.
know they've got to. I suppose, as I say, every dog has his day, and at the moment, I'm actually looking at that. A lot of the sides up in Queensland are struggling. The Cowboys, well, no, but you know, when they go into state of Origin, the Cowboys have struggled. The Titans, they're not going too bad, are they? Titans. Yeah, we'll look at that. Titans are going okay, but the Broncos,
Yes.
Cowboys, not going well.
They've someone in the media went up and asked Bennett, the old coach, old stern-faced Bennett, and asked him what's happening there, and he just said, "Mate, I haven't got time. Move on."
Well, he didn't. He knew what embarrassment was coming. Perhaps
got out.
Did you know the coach? I didn't know the coach that was coaching him.
Well,
State of
Seabold's
Origin.
gone.
No, the state. No, the actual. Sorry, the State of Origin. State of Origin. I didn't know who that coach was of the Maroons.
Who was it?
Maroons. I don't know. I don't know him. I know. We'll have to find out. Anyone can tell us who
It
he
wasn't
is.
Walters, was it?
No,
Kevin
no,
Walters.
it wasn't Kenny.
No,
Kevy, sorry.
Kenny.
Wasn't Kenny.
Wasn't Kenny G. He was out there with his saxophone.
I'm still mucked up with those tennis names.
and the MSD.
Everyone, I'm trying to put a W on the top of their name or a K or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate, the MST. Buddy, I don't know. This is a bit of a sad story, but Alex Harville's his name, and he's died in America doing a world record jump on a motorbike. This is pretty sad.
Okay.
28-year-old, just had a kid, a couple of months old, trying to jump more than 107 metres on a motorcycle. A little bit like, what was his name?
Evil
Knievel.
Evil Knievel.
Evil Knievel. It was at an air show in Washington, so there's a crowd, big crowd.
What was it called? Moses Lake Air Show.
Yeah, yeah. The stunt went wrong when he landed in a giant dirt mound at high speed. So
it is sad. Again, I suppose a young fellow, what is he, 28, which is young. But they're doing, it's like we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, they're doing something,
exactly,
and they're not going to change what they do. They know the risks. We condolences, of course, to the family and that, and the young family and that. But I mean, the guy's done something that he loved doing, and unfortunately, when you push yourself to the limit, sometimes it just doesn't work.
That's the way it goes.
Kevin Walters, Marines coach.
Yeah, it was Kevin.
It was Kevin. I thought I heard some other name.
Yeah, he must have been
unless it was one of his
drinking VBs or something at the time.
Oh, it could have been anywhere. Could have been Nebraska, north of Nebraska. I don't know.
You normally.
I swear I didn't think it was Kevin Walters. Sorry.
Hey, have you seen any of Alex? Alex, how's the racing going? Oh, fourth in one race and crashed in the next.
He crashed. Actually, I did see that. I seen he crashed. I wouldn't know because he's not letting us know.
He tried too hard. Yes, he just puts up a little bit snippets.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about in boxing, mate. We spoke about Paul Gallen. Do you think he?
Yeah, he's got to retire.
He retires.
Has to. Has to.
I think Jeff Fennick and Barry Michael, who was a great boxer too, I think they've sort of said, well, Paul, you've just got 1.3 mil, because he's a prize fighter, but perhaps that's enough.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can he do? Who else is he going to fight?
Nah.
He can fight him again, but the same thing will happen again. He took a hammering, mate.
Although I think Gallen
likes it. Tough as
I think Gallen likes doing what he's doing.
Well, he does. So he's very, very good at what he does, but he's a...
If you enjoy it, stick with it.
Yeah, well, look, he one or two more hidings at 1.3, I suppose. He just set himself up a little bit more in his family. But I I just think he's a fantastic Paul Gallen for what he's done. And but the other guy, Huni, he's got a massive future, and let's hope that he can put boxing on the map.
I'm glad that you were impressed with him, mate.
No, he's impressive.
Yeah.
Very, very good. He hits, he's got long reach, and he hits pretty hard, but he's not knocking anyone out.
That's where Qantas started. Long reach.
Long reach, yeah.
Mate, just talking, hey?
Paul Green's got here, the coach is Paul Green.
Paul Green.
Yes, that's who I said, Paul Green.
Guys, help us out, please.
No, so I said Paul Green. That's the guy, Paul Green.
What does Paul Green do for the State of Origin, guys?
Well, that was the guy.
Well, there you go.
So I'm actually right for once, am I?
He was green with envy.
I'm not very. Well, yeah, I didn't think it was Kevin Walters.
Mate, this weekend, the Indy Lights, 3:05 Wisconsin time, 6:05 Sunday morning here. If you wanted to watch Alex Peroni in his Indy Lights, that's the first race. The second race is at 11:50 p.m. on Sunday night. He's doing okay. He's doing all right. Yeah, had a crash, but the first race he came fourth. There's only 13 cars in this
in the race
in this system. So, but they reckon that this is definitely the pathway to Indy, which is where our mate Scott McLaughlin is.
Yeah, you haven't heard anything there. He's not racing at the moment.
Yeah, no, he's been doing okay. He crashed out of Indy, Indianapolis, but they'll be racing again this weekend. So next time we come on, we'll have a bit more on that. But the only way you can watch Alex race is you have to go onto YouTube. They've got a live YouTube channel. So what you do is type in Google Indy Lights, and it'll take you to their website where you can watch the race live. They do have commentators, but you can't hear the cars. It's a little bit boring, but good to catch up with Alex and see what he's doing, mate. So
he's a champion. He's a champion. We don't look. We just don't hear from him now. He's over there, and perhaps Piro might get on if he ever hears about what we're doing up here, and let us know.
Who else is a champion?
Who's the champion?
The sponsor of tonight's show.
Who's that,
man? That would be
who?
Corey's
Garden and Landscaping.
We're not Glenn and I'll sing it. Corey's Garden and Landscaping. Your whole band's on. Something needs.
He's a great man.
0497 647 184.
Alright, now you're back.
Okay, we're back.
Thank you, Corey.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank you, Corey.
Thanks, mate.
Mate, before we get on to AFL, just quickly,
Richie.
you know Richie Port, cyclist, right? We're talking Matthew Goss. Hopefully, we'll probably see him. I'll see him next
I might
week.
get Gossie on. I might see Gossie on the weekend. I will see him.
He's actually, I might need your help again here.
Oh, for God's sake, don't do this.
He's had a breakthrough week, right?
The Tour de France.
Weeks out from the Tour de France.
With a dream victory at the Criterium
Oh, good.
du Dauphine
Yeah.
in France.
Thank you so much.
At 36 Portet.
Has twice been the runner-up.
Yeah.
The last
I
five
told you I'm French.
5 of the past 10 winners of this race have gone on to win the Tour de France.
Oh, he's a star. He was.
Could this be
helped-
Richie Port's year, mate?
Well,
Could
he
be.
was. I think his teammate had I think it was a week or so ago, when he was racing, he had a prang, and he got cleaned up by a few bike riders. And I tell you what, it must have bloody well hurt. He got his bike up because he had to get as far up into the pack as he could, so that Richie Port got that. Got the what do you call it? Yeah, there he is. There, got the port. No, he got on the on the big stadium.
The
mate.
dais.
Got the dais. That's it. Yes, the dais.
The dice.
We're getting really tricked with some funny names tonight, and I hope we haven't got any bloody more, have we?
I think that's about it.
Oh, we've got
That's
some
about
easy
it.
names
I'm
coming
going to go
up.
into
I
a
can
bit of
see that.
AFL here, mate, and
Well, we've got a lot to talk about.
well, there is.
There's a lot happening in the AFL.
Just quickly, Chris Fagan celebrates his 100th match here in Hobart. I hope you get a crowd,
So-
but we won't be there because I'm not spending $132 to go there and then buy
So
$20 bloody beers, which are only
Chrissy-
mid-strength. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a tan here. I'm just a
So
bit...
Chrissy Fagan, and people don't know, he was from Queenstown, mate.
Yeah,
He was from up that way. He might have played on the old Rosebery ground up there.
on the gravel.
He would have played on gravel, I think. But he played at Hobart down here in Sandy Bay, and of course went to Melbourne and then did wonders there, and then went to Hawthorn, did wonders there, and then obviously coaching against who, mate? David Noble, and he was his lieutenant, right hand man, like me and you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually on your
Left.
Yeah.
You're my left-hand man.
Right, left. Oh, he's left hand man.
Sounds,
Yeah,
sounds a bit weird to me, but anyway.
It does anyway.
Yeah.
It's a bit left of the field. Yeah, but they're up against one another for the first time.
We've got to be interesting.
So a North Hobart boy.
And I'm going to put this out here. This isn't Cleve's tips by any stretch of the imagination, but
I had a good tips last
I
week.
put some money on North Melbourne this weekend because I think
Okay,
Brisbane's going down.
Well, they played. They should have beaten. We've had a bit of fun. They should have won last week. They lacked. They just. This is what happens when you get beaten like Hawthorns and North Melbournes and some of these, and Carlton, all these lower sides. It's to pull 4 quarters together. I think Hawthorn got their first win for a long, long time the other week. The first time they've done it for 2 years, Jeff. Played 4 quarters.
Not deserving.
Used to play in 3.
Not deserving. Hawthorn.
Yeah, 3 quarters. We'll just move on. 3 quarters North Melbourne played great footy. They should have won.
Yeah.
They deserved to win.
Yes.
But the siren finishes, mate, at the 20... Sometimes it should be about the 22, 23 minute mark.
Not unhappy.
It goes 30, but...
Not unhappy.
No, they played good football.
We want to finish last to get the best picks that we can.
Well,
So
you've got to remember where they hedges at the start of the year, and GWS with all their recruits and all their kids, best kids in
Brisbane's going down, mate.
Yeah, I give you hopefully you play really well.
Mate, just quickly before we start talking about this suspension, which we're going to get into in a second, I just wanted to say congratulations to Zach Merritt from Essendon.
Yeah, 6.
Signed a 6-year deal. Had the
He's
opportunity.
never going, was he?
Well, but he had the opportunity to go in free agency, and I just like a player who sticks.
Well, that means he'll finish out, won't he? That's
To a
it
team.
now. He'll be a one man. He'll be a one man. He'll be a one team player.
I really like that. I don't like pre-season, mid-season drafts
never go.
and all that sort of stuff. But for one guy to stay at a club and sign a 6-year contract, congratulations.
And I just said well done, and I can't know where you're going with it. Also, but Nathan Buckley, were you going there?
No, I wasn't going to. What are your thoughts?
Well, thoughts are that isn't it funny now? You sit back and you listen to you know, the record and what he did and what he didn't do. But at the end of the day, I did used to watch quite a lot of shows, and he always did hold himself well doing interviews, and he's a very clued in guy that's, as they said, very tense when he first started, loosened up, probably is a better coach now. And though they got over their last game, who they beat?
Bulldogs, isn't it? No, sorry, I can't remember.
They beat Melbourne. Sorry, up there in Sydney, and they played fantastic. But it just shows you, I don't know if you need a coach to leave or something to happen before your side reacts, but they did play well, and he's been there for a hell of a long time. He's been there for, he's been there since Methuselah. Do you like that? No. Been there a long time. And at any rate, he's no longer. But I don't. Well, I'll put it a question to you, Jim.
Here we go.
Do you think? Right now, I know he's Collingwood, but do you think? I think he's still got the fire in the belly. Do you reckon he'll come back in, say, 2 or 3 years' time? No.
He'll be back.
He'd have to be a senior coach.
He'll be back next year as a senior coach.
Okay.
For another side other than Collingwood.
You think he will? So he will come back.
I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I will put money.
I think you're right. I think he's done it. He can't. He can't.
He's
do
young.
anything.
He's young. You know, look, I've got to tell you this because it's still going on. People are still talking about Ross Lyon going to another club.
Well, when are we going to talk about
He's
that?
Finished. He's gone. I'm sorry.
Well, my brother, an older brother, a lot older than me, but he told me that Clarkson, Al, going to have a talk to Alston later, but that he was going to go. He's off to Collingwood.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now that's not happening.
Don't know about that.
He won't go. And then I put it to my brother. I said, "Well, Ross Lyon's going to go there."
No, he's dead in the water.
Well, it'd be interesting.
Anyone who picks up Ross Lyon.
What should Collingwood do? Who should they go for? You've got Michael Voss out there. Hinkley today, the Port Adelaide coach. He did everything to spruik him up, and he said that Michael Voss has been a lieutenant for me. He's ready to go. He'd be an ideal pick. So he's Sam Mitchell, I think, is going to be a career coach. All the pundits say he is. The guys that he played with, the Luke Hodges, all those guys, Lewis, all the guys that played with him know how smart he is with football. Said he'll be a career coach. Is he ready yet?
Yeah.
Is he like Michael Voss? Michael Voss now is
ready to go.
But Michael Voss got in too early.
Yeah.
Didn't he? James Hird?
Yeah.
Did you see that? James Hird got in a bit too early.
Yeah.
And I think Clarkson said, just bide your time, mate. He's coaching Box Hill, so he's got his own team. And he's doing really well with them. And obviously he must do, because we've got a couple of young fellas all of a sudden that are playing senior football and come from nowhere. So that's on the back of him and his coaches. So I just think sometimes you've got to tread water and take your time.
Yeah, but mate, answering your question again, I think you'll see Nathan Buckley coaching a AFL team next year.
Right.
That's my thoughts.
Okay.
Mate, let's move on to something that's going to be a bit fiery, I reckon. Is it David Mackay or Mackay?
Mackay.
Mackay from Adelaide. Everyone would have heard it. Everyone would have seen it. The bump broke his jaw, knocked out some teeth. Mate, he's been. This is huge. This is huge for the game of AFL, because if he had have been suspended for this, we don't know where the game goes, right? Because we know we want to protect the head, and
we want to protect the head, but
the game changes if he gets suspended, right? But what I'm a bit antsy about is the fact that he didn't get suspended. But what about the 20 blokes before him who did get suspended for the same thing?
That is the whole argument. So
that was a pretty bad bump.
It was, but what the argument is that A, did he have his eyes on the ball? Looking at the replays, the answer is yes. I watched the game. Could he have slowed down? How do we know? We're not the. All I know is when you're running at 100 mile an hour, unless you got disc brakes and all the rest of it, I mean you're probably not going to pull up.
Yeah.
Now, should he have? What the argument was, Jeff? They are told, and I watched a couple of shows too, and all the young kids when they first start are told to A, put their head over the ball.
Yep.
B, run as hard as they can.
Yep.
But C, turn and protect yourself.
Yep.
So the argument was, and I listened to a couple of guys, and they said, well, the ball was bobbling around. It was the guy, the ex-St Kilda player, Montagna. And he said, well, the ball was bobbling around and he didn't quite have it, and the other guy was coming through. Now, had that not bobbled around, that may not have happened. Or it may have been worse. So the thing is, can you stop these guys? When you go and watch it, and you've watched it that many times too live, they are travelling at 100 mile an hour, those guys. And people like me get silly as when they don't do that.
Yeah.
So the thing is,
because that's what they're being paid.
If you've got your head down
Yep.
like that, and they get hit in the head here,
Yep.
when they got their head there, then yes, that's reportable. And there was a guy from Sydney Swans. They put him out for a week.
Yes.
Young fella from Hawthorn grabbed a guy by the jumper and fell back and slung him. So he hit his head. He got a week.
Yep. Dangerfield got the same.
Dangerfield got it. So there's your, what's the word? Precedent. Precedent. He got, so Dangerfield went. Those guys went.
Yep.
This one's a little bit different because yes, if he lined him up and just to really and go like that, and he didn't do that. If you really watch it, he turned his shoulder. He did sort of get off the ground a bit, but he turned his shoulder, but all the time his head was at the ball, not at him. Actually, O'Meara, in the same game against Sydney, did the same thing to the Sydney Swans guy, and he just ran at the ball, but eyes at the ball, and they both hit the ball at the same time.
Yeah.
That's bad luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can't. So I actually spoke to my wife about it. So how do you fix this? So if they're going to keep going on about head knocks and that, which they are, it's going to continue. It's never going away.
No.
And by the way, the AFL will
shouldn't.
come out and they're not changed the rule, at the moment.
No,
they're
they
going
shouldn't.
to leave it.
Yes, they shouldn't.
No. So do they wear? And this is where the argument comes in. The guys today, we like to see that they've got the mullet haircuts, or they've got, not much hair like me, or something like that. And you look at all that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, do they wear helmets? Not helmets as in gridiron helmets. Do they wear bicycle helmets? And that means everyone.
I think if you've got an underlying issue, you'd go down that track. Like, who did that? Dalhouse?
Oh, they all, well, you got the little guy from the Western Bulldogs.
Yep.
His name. The little bloke in the back pocket. He's only about 5 foot something. I'll think of his name in a minute. But he wears one.
These guys have suffered from concussion in the past, and they've probably been told with the doctor, you want to keep playing, you're going to have a helmet on. And let me tell you, mate, Luke Beveridge has come out, Bulldogs coach.
What does he say?
And he has said that he has told his players, do not change. Do not change.
No, you're not going to change the game.
The way you play the game, you go 100 mile an hour for the ball. That's the way it is. And
once you start pulling out, as in they're told. I mean, all they do is train. They go into the gym. They've got to get bigger.
As we do.
Yeah, well, as we do. They've got to get bigger. It's true. I mean, we are big.
Not here. Yeah.
But they go into the gym to get fit. They get bigger, faster, quicker, learn the game plan, and that makes you an AFL footballer. A lot of the older footballers will say today they're robots.
Yeah.
And when you're a natural footballer, and I keep going back to this, if you grew up with footy back in the day, they worked, but they were natural. A lot of them were natural footballers. They, Tony, we've had guys on our show, Tony Martins and all those sort of guys. They're what I call a natural footballer. These guys today, and this is my argument, they are athletes, as in high jumpers, and pole vaulters and basketballers and all these sort of things who learn to pick the game up. And I think some of them lack some of the skills that you were told when you were 5 to 6 to 7 to 8, up in the 10s, 11s, how to protect yourself. Sometimes you're just going to get knocked out. You're going to get hurt.
It's the way the game is. Mate.
And because the other argument is, mate, what about when they're in the air and you jump up in the air and you got the knee that comes round and you're wearing a knee in your face, you got a guy 10 foot up in the air.
Yeah.
So do they outlaw marking?
We can't. And we've spoke about this last time we were on. We spoke about it tonight, mate. The guy who's unfortunately lost his life jumping his motorbike. it is part of the sport.
So,
and it's just the way it is. You can't stop
There's
it.
no sport in the world like Australian rules football.
No.
But we've changed the game for the better. In one respect, as we said about head knocks and all that, because that's all you used to do. You used to get hit in the head and you were unprotected all the time. Now they do protect it, but how much further are they going to go? Otherwise, it might as well be called touch football.
Exactly right.
Anyway.
Just wanted to quickly say hello to Juanita, who's just joined us.
How you going, Juanita?
She's been busy doing studies, studies and work practice.
Good
and Juanita, I've got good news and I've got bad news for you. The bad news is
what is bad news? Huh?
Cleves Tips.
Well,
it's Cleves Tips.
Hang on a minute.
Hang on, put the horse on.
Yeah, got to put the horse on. Just wait. You got me off guard.
Yeah, well.
Hey,
Wow.
Didn't see that one coming.
We did get some good news, Liv.
News? Here we go.
What have we got? Some good news from Juanita.
Here we go. Hang on.
Hello everybody, and today it's time for Cleve's Tips.
I'll just do yes, well, we're back on now. Look, I've had a couple of weeks to think about just how I've been going lately, and I've sort of had to rethink how I go about things.
It's a Cleves Tips reset.
Yeah, it's a reset. It's a sort of bit like the season, when you how you going for the season in like AFL and all that.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Cleves Tips. I mean, all the good horses have all been put to pasture now, and I'll tell you what, we've got some donkeys out there. I can't help it. I mean, at the moment, I'm trying to pick through what we can, and I've come up with a little plan. But did have a very, very good week, and my wife can back me up on that. I had a very good week last weekend, and unfortunately, I wasn't on air to tell people about it.
She's laughing.
Oh, is she? Yeah. Well, anyway, I can tell you I went on. So right at the moment, I think because some of the horses are out at odds. Perhaps I know Al did it not long ago, and we went out and you can back some of them if you look at it and you like the jockey and that, go for a place bet. Yeah. It can be a win as a place bet instead of, you probably got a little bit more chance of win all the time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but I'll still go for winners. Flemington, anyway, let's go to Flemington. Flemington race 2, horse 10, Vivid Resky.
Who?
Vivid Red Sky, sorry.
Red Sky.
Sounds like Glenesky.
We're off to a fly already.
Let's go again. Vivid Red Sky.
Red Ski tonight. Sales
Vivid
tonight.
Red Sky.
Yeah.
850 and 540. 850 is on the fixed bet, and 540 would be on the tote. Okay, we're jumping straight away to race 8. So this is just, we only have a couple there at Flemington. Race 8, horse 1, Long January.
Well, no, I just want to ask a question. So when
Johnny Allen,
you just said
$6.
You just said that all the good horses are in pasture at the moment, and all the donkeys are out.
Oh, well.
Hey, donkey. When does it all start up again? When all the good horses?
Well,
come
a lot of them have been running, and they can't. I mean, we're into winter now, and a lot of them don't. They've been running over the summer and all the rest of it, and they can only go for so long.
So give them a rest.
Give them a little bit of a
They're
rest.
in the middle of an enterprise bargaining agreement.
Yeah, they haven't signed contracts.
They don't want to run the cold.
The horses have got to sign the contracts.
They need to have a little rest, like we do occasionally.
Well, that's true. That is true.
It's like Hawthorn. We've been having a rest for a while. Anyway, but I like this one. He ran over in Muppetville here the other week.
Yeah,
but Long in January's been around for a bit. But race 8, horse 1, he's the top weight, and he's got Johnny Allen on the back. $6.13.80. That will not be that, but that's what it is at the moment.
So if you jumped on it now, what would you get it at?
$6.13.80. So $6, as you know, is your fixed, and $13.80 on the tote. $13.80 can come in. You go in the next day if it's going. That could come into $3.80. You don't know, but we're on a Friday live. So anyway, let's go straight to Rose Hill. Rose Hill, 1,500 metres. And we was looking at the Muppets before, wasn't we, about beakers and all the rest of it?
How good were they?
So we've got race 1, horse 2, The Beak. There was a Verbeek that played for Carlton, I think, back in the day.
I reckon you're right.
I'll tell you what, let the great man.
Let me
let the great man look that up.
I'm the
Corey should. He might know that, but he was a Western Australian.
I'm currently.
I think his name was Tony Verbeek.
Tony
Just look that up.
Tony.
I could be wrong.
Keep going.
Anyway, so race 1, horse 2, Verbeek, 4:20 and 8:20. Race 6. He had Hugh Bowman on that Verbeek too. Race 6, horse 3, Count de Rupee. So we've got that French bit going tonight, haven't we?
Count Droopy?
Count de Rupee. Rupee, rupee. It's not French, is that what his rupees is?
The horse needs a blue pill. If he's got a de Rupee.
7:50 and 10:20. Race 7, horse 3, Yonkers.
Yep.
Not bonkers. I ain't bonkers, Yonkers. $6 and $5.80, and to finish off again, I think it's going to be his day. As the great man Huey, he hasn't been too good of late. But 1,500 metres, race 9 to finish off. Horse 8, Oscar Zulu. Jeff.
Oh, Zulu.
5:50 and 8:20. That is it. I'm only gone to the 2 tracks. That's it.
Simon Verbeek.
Close, wasn't I?
Hey.
Yeah, Simon Verbeek. There he is. So
look,
there you
look
go.
at this.
You just tell me Cleve doesn't know his football, right?
There, just to
Is
prove.
that the end?
Just to prove
That is
that
the
was,
end
that
of
was
Cleve's
Cleve's
tip. So
tips.
all the
Alright.
best with
Here we
that.
I'm going to tell you, Glennie's sitting next to me, right? You're a bit of a guru when it comes to football because this guy
Right.
played 38 games and you know him.
Yeah, I think he was a Western Australian, wasn't he? Wrong and right. Don't know. I might have
He
made that
played
up.
for Carlton, 38 games. He had 33 goals in those 38 games.
Is he? Where's he from? Doesn't say what state.
No, it probably does, but I'm not going to say it tonight.
Well,
Well, there you go. And born in 1967, so he's
yeah,
he's
67. I was.
well, we should get him on.
When was he born? In 67.
Yeah.
He's only a lad.
He's 52. We should get him on. There you go.
We'll get him on.
If anyone knows Simon Verbeek,
Simon
let us know.
Verbeek.
because
Corey might know
I'm
because
gonna
he
try
was a
and
Carlton.
I'll try and
through
contact
through.
him. Then just say, look, mate, we were talking about you on our show last week.
Simon Verbeek, because we had a horse, which was Verbeek. And we was looking at Gonzo on that before, and he's got a big beak, hasn't he?
Your man, Gonzo. He watches the show, Gonzo.
It doesn't. Oh, where you going, Gonzo out there?
But you weren't talking about him. You're talking about the Muppets,
we're
Gonzo.
talking about the Muppets. Gonzo.
That was Bohemian Rhapsody, the Muppets.
Yeah.
Guys, that's all we have for tonight.
Yeah, we
What was that?
Yeah, that's,
Well, what is that?
that's you.
Well, it didn't look like me. Something weird. Ghostbusters.
Did you ever have a... You had a
There's been lots going on.
No, that was
I haven't noticed it. It's the best
I
time.
don't know.
So with sport, we've mentioned it before, just before we go. So the Olympics coming up, we had just, I know with the swimming and that, the ones that got through, we've still got the older brigade there, Kate Campbell and what's the sister's name? Oh yes, Emily Seabomb. Seabomb. They're still there, and then we got the younger ones come through. We got the Titmouse. She's in, haven't we? Hey,
Pardon?
the Titmouse.
Pardon?
Yeah, Titmus.
Oh, Ariana.
Yeah, exactly what you just said.
Ariola Titmouse.
Now, all you good people up in Queensland, don't pinch our girl from us because she was from Tasmania.
Yes.
But she's been living in Queensland, and she's doing very good things. And she is at times, and young McEwen.
Yeah.
She smashed. Or didn't get the record exactly, but she was close, and she beat. Who did she beat? One of the sisters, didn't she? Was Kate?
A fish called Wanda.
Yeah. She beat her. Yeah, she beat her in anyway.
Yeah, I know
so
you
look,
do, mate.
all the best. So if it all goes ahead,
There is a new sport at the Tokyo Olympics.
What
Is
is
it?
that?
It's called sumo racing.
Yeah.
sumo racing.
Sumo racing.
Oh,
Yeah,
this.
putting a
Here
clip
we
now.
go.
Well, put a pic up of that.
What's going on here? What's
I think
this?
it'll be really interesting.
This is new.
They're starting to combine sports. They're worried about not having enough athletes because of COVID.
Oh yeah.
So they're doing a bit of
Oh, there
sumo
you go.
racing in there.
Are you having a crack at us or what?
Huh?
Are you having a crack at us?
Hey, I bet you.
Is that what
Is that in July? Is this in
Having a
July?
crack?
Is that what
Dolly
she's?
might be.
Is
Look
that,
at
is that what she's doing? Look at that could be us.
God, I tell you what.
Sumo racing.
Well, They're running, though.
Oh, Dolly's got the
Dolly.
bird.
She's got the bird.
Dolly's got the silver bird going.
Yeah.
Friggin', why is Dolly on the sports show?
Because she was replying to you, but in a delayed way.
Screw you, Dolly. All right. Are you going to watch the Olympics? You win the Olympics? I love the Olympics.
I'll watch. Well, I'll watch it if it's. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many they're going to get there.
12?
Well, I'll probably watch that. I'll probably watch Justice Uni in the boxing.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get our journalist out there, Leah Cleaver, and find out whether or not you can buy a beer in Tokyo for next week's show. Because, I mean, I'm devastated that you can't.
You can buy a beer in a vending machine over there.
By the way, anyone up in Launceston, I'm in the Carlton draft stand. If you want to, come over and I'll be wearing my Hawthorn gear and that. So if you want to come over and talk to me on the Friday Frothies,
He'll be incoherent. Anyway, all right, guys, that's all we have for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been a little bit of a serious one tonight again, hasn't it?
Do you think so?
Yeah. Been a lot of pretty serious sports to talk about tonight. So.
Well, there has been.
But that's what we do. That's sports, and if you like listening to sports, that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we can only focus on what's we've got at the moment. There's not a lot of sport really, is there?
Bronte Campbell.
Bronte.
Oh, Bronte Campbell.
It's cold there. Bronte.
Yeah. Good girls, they are.
Just out one of the lakes.
Good girls.
Do you like that name?
Is that it, guys? Because
Bronte.
you're just rambling now.
Oh, we're rambling.
Do you like the name Bronte? Oh, I don't mind that. Bronte.
No.
Hey, what about someone's just had a kid and they've...
Wanda.
Who?
Was it Wanda?
No. Doesn't matter.
That's not
Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
We'll see you in a fortnight.
Cheers, by the way.
Bye.
You're listening to the Friday Frothy.